been doing this 18 years. I've done a lot of crunches. I want to make sure that I get my time with my family, but the company gets the time that they need as well.
I hope not. We keep saying we're going to lock this thing down. There's always more to do.
It's a constant battle. It's a constant struggle.
You're coming up for mocap then today?
Yeah, what time do you want me there?
Noon, probably a little before noon.
What about me?
Yeah, if you can come up later this afternoon.
So do you want me to pick her up after? Megan, but here's the deal. If you tell too many kids about what you're doing, like they're not gonna believe you. So, or they'll get really jealous. Don't tell the mean girls because they'll just use it against you.
They don't even know what motion capture is.
That's true.
Yeah.
They also say he looks 16 and you look like you're in your early 20s.
So the motion capture sessions are kind of, there's multiple different ones that we do. We do them for the movement sets for our characters in the game.
Oh, shit. This is gonna be awesome.
So we'll get somebody in the suit.
A traitor like you doesn't deserve to wear the uniform.
From where?
And then two kind of right top of the muscle.
Because last time you had to put these on, you were so
I gave them to
embarrassed.
you to put.
You're going,
Here you go.
right there and there.
Look out. Look down the street. Down the street the other way. Grab the shutters. Close it up. And it's the baddies are coming.
I love what I do. I love the products that we're working on, and so I love coming in here and doing this stuff, but I also love my family, and so it's a constant trying to make sure everybody gets the time that I get the time with them and they get the time from me.
Trying to test.
Yeah. And the other leg. Foot. And back to two photos. Hold it.
My daughter is 9 years old. She loves drama and acting, so she's actually doing, going and seeing her perform, and my wife is an actress as well, so just participate, just trying to get them in my short films, so it's a lot of fun.
How's that feel, sweetie? Oh, you see yourself?
Stand, and then what I want you to do is kind of stand here and just kind of look around like you're just bored, okay? Okay, so just stand there, you're bored, you're waiting on somebody. You're waiting outside of school for your mom to pick you up. It's like, when is she gonna get here? All right, now look up at me. You're just looking down the street, arms down, just kind of bored.
In terms of actually balancing it against work, I've been doing this 18 years, so I've had a lot of practice at balancing it. Gears of War is huge because not only is it going to be just a killer franchise, a killer app from a game playing standpoint, but from a visual standpoint, it really shows the power of the 360.
Find those men and deploy that resonator. Will we have air support? What? Are you kidding? You are the support, son!
Video game development has a certain amount of pressure involved with it, just a little bit. I actually went to the doctor the other day for a checkup and I found out my blood pressure is 150/85, so I think my head's about to explode like in the movie Scanners. My name's Cliff Blazinski, and I'm the designer of Gears of War.
Well, Cliff has always been a very creative guy.
Tap B to melee, hold B for the chainsaw, is what it's gonna say. I want the torque bow to be an at the ready, so you can like hold it kind of like this, and then when you get in close, have him like a... Cliff is chaos!
Most of the time it starts with Cliff.
Cliff has always been kind of a crazy, like, oh, wouldn't this be cool? And he comes up with some crazy shit.
All of a sudden it's a giant thing and Cliff's in a tizzy. Like, oh, this is gonna be, so he's like, somebody give me your crown, I need a pen. Anybody, give me a pen.
You heard about the soap, right?
No, but that would be funny.
Josh J modeled like soap, and I want to put it in the corner or like one of the showers. And like if you actually go over and hit use, Marcus bends over to pick stuff up, right? I've been working with Epic Games for 14 years now, since I was 17 years old.
He really knows the gameplay and game design aspects, more than anybody else I've met in the industry.
This was like those games where you have to suck the stuff after you kill all the guys, or Prince of Persia, where you have to always stick the dagger and finish them off. It's just
He really knows exactly what makes a fun game, you know, what makes a successful game, and how to put all of that stuff together.
Bugging you. What's up, man?
Game designer is responsible for keeping the vision for the project. So it's one part dreamer, one part salesman.
Okay.
Dash of bull. My feelings right now is basically constant nausea. This is the Super Bowl. It's the Super Bowl of careers here. I mean, if this game doesn't do well, people at Microsoft are going to get canned. So no pressure, right? It scares the crap out of me. So I'm responsible for designing what is going to be the hit game of the year for Microsoft, presenting it. I'm also in the process of moving into a condominium, dealing with a relationship, and also raising a puppy. Everything is completely crazy right now.
Grandpa, good boy.
Taking personal time is very, very difficult. Some people have wives and families and they need to go home and take care of that. I need to take my dog out, take him to the lake. That's my moment of zen, and I'm going to take it. It's a lot of work, but it's also a lot of fun making video games. Throughout the 14 years I've been doing this, my career has been the one thing that I knew was stable, that would always be there. I've had relationships begin, I've had them end, but my career has always been the one thing I come back to. This last month has been a roller coaster ride for me, but you know what? At the end of the day, I would rather have my life be interesting in a roller coaster than boring and flat.
I never really expected to be this successful when I went into game development. A really big house. I don't know why I have a big house. I don't really need it. I don't use much of the space, but I figured, you know, I have the money, why not? I'm Tim Sweeney. I'm the founder of Epic Games. I've been programming all of my life. I started when I was 9 years old. I probably spend 13 or 14 hours a day on average programming or thinking about programming. I started Epic back 15 years ago. I started making a few very small games. You know, back then a game was a small effort. You know, I spent a couple months programming a game, and I drew the artwork myself, and I released the game that way. I just grew the company that way slowly, starting from the very beginning, making the first games myself, working in my parents' basement.
He's really good at what he does, and it's not like he just comes here and plays or whatever. This is just Tim's life, is being here and working on the technology and keeping his pulse on like the industry.
A lot of the time I'm not typing code into the computer, I'm actually just writing notes and planning what to do on paper.
He could easily own an island in Fiji and never have to work again a day in his life. But
this is my dining room. I've never actually eaten here. Well, I usually eat out. I usually get food at Burger King. This is the piano room. I'm a really terrible piano player. Those are garnets from an old garnet mine around here in North Carolina. I'll go out hiking once in a while. When I find a cool rock, I'll just grab a few and add them to my collection. There's a big difference between the quality of the rocks I found on my own and the ones I bought on eBay. I have a really cool yard with garden and a nice garden and a lot of landscaping. So when we were planning out the house, I said I wanted a fountain with a huge rock that spits out water from the top. I have a climbing tree. I have to see the game room now. This is really cool. This is the game room. Don't play any games here. Here's my loft. Of course, the best part is this beanbag. Gotta have one of these. It turns out that having fast cars is an excellent hobby when you're a workaholic, because you know, even if you don't have any free time, you can always drive the car to work. Epic's a leading developer. They put incredible efforts into making sure that every game we release is an excellent experience. Gears of War is a big change in pace for us. It's really the first truly next generation game in terms of having extremely vivid graphics, extremely immersive environments, and a continuous world. This next generation is about bringing that level of detail up to very close to what you expect to see in a movie now.
Years ago, I just wanted to see a gun with a chainsaw on it to me, right? Like a futuristic version of a bayonet. And I hadn't really seen it in any games yet. And there's been chainsaws in games before. There's a chainsaw in Resident Evil 4, there's a chainsaw in Doom. But a chainsaw with a gun? Now that sounds like a chocolate and a peanut butter type situation, right?
I think when it comes to babies, you've got the chainsaw gun, and that's probably the mother of all babies for Cliff, because he's been touting that chainsaw gun since day one of our kind of redesign on this project. He wanted the gun with the chainsaw on it. And it's cool that Cliff, you know, sticks to his guns, so to speak, because it gets in and it works and it kind of proves his point, and I think it's going to be a big success.
Well, the biggest thing right now, the decision we made today that affects gameplay is that we need to get the chainsaw attack in. If we can't throw a grenade, so be it. I'd rather the chainsaw and the use of the chainsaw and the Lancer is going to be a trade, you know, as a game-making moment. It's part of our visual ID. It's what makes Gears Gears.
I mean, I think if he finished Death Animations and worked on the Bolo and back and forth with Aaron, I think we can get it done. I think it'll look fucking awesome. You know, we get Matt's blood shit in there, so blood's flying out. I mean, I think it's gonna look, and I agree. I think we've been, you know, touting this gun with a chainsaw on it forever, and it'd be nice to finally have that fucker in.
Right. We got great VO for it.
Come here, I want to show you cool shit. Want to see the chainsaw again?
I always like chainsaw.
So the thing that best represents kind of the coolness of Gears is the chainsaw shot, the blood on the lens, just the violence of that shot. We keep referring to it as intimate violence. So for me, the chainsaw shot's the money shot.
So it's configurable for how much blood gets splattered up, how fast they hit. Is that something like what you wanted?
Yeah, totally.
All right.
Did I tell you what I want? If you hit the B button more, he actually holds it in him longer.
Like this one splatters over time, so you know the blood continues to come. With the shotgun, I'll probably make one that's just.
Awesome. Cool, thanks, dude.
Yep.
The way that this game is being built right now is like trying to construct a car that's barreling down the freeway at 90 miles an hour while the freeway is still being paved, headed for a brick wall on fire. And if it comes together on time and everything's great, I will just be blown away, because right now it's really scary.
Today's our executive review. That's where we get all the execs from the companies. That's me, Tim Sweeney, our CEO, and Mark Rain, VP. And then the lead designer of our other game, Steve Folge, will come in as sort of an outside voice to take a look at Gears.
We're at a very, very sensitive point right now where we're trying to stitch the game together and make it playable start to finish, and just to iterate on the process of creativity and figure out if something's fun. And everything continues to break on a regular basis. So who broke it? Whose do I have to kick?
When in doubt, break it with the chainsaw.
Ow! Ow! That's my.
Guys, you gotta be able to use the shotgun when you're in close. Because as soon as they start getting you with the chainsaw, you're toast.
You get him point blank with the shotgun?
No, I didn't get a shot.
No, but I didn't get the shot off in time, but I should be able to.
No,
you know?
sucking, dude.
It just doesn't change weapons fast enough.
So just a little reminder that what we're looking for here is for Mark and I to have a good enough time that we think it's worth showing. So you can approach that however you want. One way would be to
let the Wookiee win.
There you go, let the Wookiee win. Now we're talking.
Mike Capps, my favorite boss. Mike Capps is great. He's kind of like the the judge sometimes. You know, he comes in and lays down the law.
Oh, the chainsaw! Oh, shotgun! You're trying to chainsaw.
The chainsaw is almost perfect, and I jump up and down with Lee every time I use it. It's actually a little too powerful right now. It's going to be a balancing design challenge for us. And the Locust actually come after you with it and chainsaw you, and I actually had like Dom and I chainsawing a Locust at the same time yesterday, and chainsawing people in multiplayer, and it's just disgustingly fun goodness. Did you see the chainsaw? Did you see it? Did you see
No.
it? Wow, this is a cold beer. Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
Here's to good writing and chainsaws.
That's right.
Mocap is motion capture. It's taking a person and basically using reflective material placed on them at strategic points. We capture that from 36 different cameras. The computers do the math on where each of those individual reflected markers are in 3D space, and then we put that onto one of our characters in the game. My name is Jeremiah O'Flaherty. I'm the art director here at Epic Games. I've been making video games for 18 years. I've been doing it since home computers first came on the market. I kept thinking at some point I'm going to get a real job, but it became a real job.
Jerry is the most impressive guy I've worked with as far as I can remember. I've always been impressed by the work and how he treats his guys and, you know, inspires them to do awesome work.
We have 4 really big scenes that we want to do that are kind of your big plot points, and that's the opening sequence, which we mocap today, different than what Dee Dee is doing. And then 3 other sequences. Actually, the one Dee Dee is doing is one. I've been working on Gears a little over 2 years now. For it to be a success, everybody has to hit on all marks. Nobody's going to buy it if the gameplay isn't there. And if the gameplay is super fun, but it's not visually compelling, you know, are people going to want to buy it?
There's a lot of cards.
All right. The motion capture sessions are like a film shoot or a video shoot. The cool thing about them is I'm never married to any aspect of it. I don't have to worry about lighting when I'm down there. I don't have to worry about sound being, you know, any of the things that can kind of mess up a typical production. The motion capture sessions are kind of, there's multiple different ones that we do. We do them for the movement sets for our characters in the game. So we'll get somebody in the suit, for example. We need a run, we need a walk. We need him, when he turns in place, to do specific motion. And while we've got highly trained, really kick-ass animators, they want to start with something that's realistic, because there's a lot of subtlety of human motion that is hard to put into a static object. If you start with all that subtlety already built in, you can kind of trim it out, make it what you want. And so it's a lot easier to get that underlying just character subtlety right from mocap. So we use it for our characters, just kind of get our movement set going, and then additionally we will use it for our cinematics. So in that case, instead of creating a walk cycle or a run cycle or these cycles that kind of loop, we actually take a scene in a very cinematic sense of the word, and we shoot the actors and we block them and they move through the scene. In the case of Gears of War, we're actually motion capturing the camera work at the same time. Because while we're blocking the characters out, I want the camera to have this handheld feel that we're kind of pushing through the entire product. So the camera, the in-game camera that you see while you're running around was me walking across the stage with a camera, so that it felt like a cameraman walking with a camera. And then we take that and we put it into the game. And so when you're walking around the game, you have the handheld feel, and then you transition to cinematics, and all of a sudden you have actors moving around with that handheld camera sensibility still completely seamlessly. All I'm really concerned with is the blocking of the characters and the way the camera moves through them. And if I'm not motion capturing camera at the time, then it's just making sure that the characters are moving in the way that I want them to. Once I get it onto the computer, I push cameras in, I push lights in, I can alter the timing of individual characters. Gears of War is huge because not only is it going to be just a killer franchise, a killer app from a game playing standpoint, but from a visual standpoint, it really shows the power of the 360. I think people are still just going to be amazed at what they see.
What's up, bitches? I've been at a lot of companies where there was like 2 groups of people. You've got the people with families, and you've got the people who are going out to party every night.
Go, 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 go! Be bad! Suck it down!
And often those don't mix too well.
You cock the weapon first. See, you're actually active. Oh, damn!
Everybody gets along really great, and it's probably the coolest dynamic that we've ever had here.
At Epic, we have a lot of guys who are, they're like me, they're young, they're single, and then we have a lot of family people.
Epic is good. That's our crunch line, that'd be great.
Yeah. We'll definitely be at the Easter egg hunt. I absolutely adore watching my little girl on Easter.
Okay, everybody ready? Okay, let's go hunt some eggs.
Like a gold watch or something.
Okay.
Hey, you open later? It's fine. Just put it in the basket and go get some more.
And there's so many families in Epic and so many kids here that it's great to have an opportunity to bring everybody together.
No, I don't have any like immediate family here. So the younger guys tend to go out and party more often, and then the older guys with kids at home and whatnot try to work the normal hours.
You kind of get into a little, kind of your comfort level of life at Microsoft, and then you come to Epic and it's a giant frat party.
So this is the Epic Fitness facility. Do that. Yeah, cool. That's enough for me. For now.
Shit, Grayson.
Let's see if I can pick it up. Oh, that's it, dude, right there. All right, I'm done with
We do everything we can to make crunch a little easier on the guys. We do things, we try to arrange lawn mowing services, we're bringing in a masseuse, we bring lunches in, we go out, we go drinking a fair amount. We're in redneck country, so we go shooting quite a bit.
Thing's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it is.
Kind of scary.
The sights are all off there.
We play sports. We have a soccer team, both indoor and outdoor soccer teams. We play basketball. Basically, it's about hopefully getting a little bit of exercise and getting rid of some stress. We play video games all the time. Everybody here loves playing games. It's part of, not just what we do, we love it. A new game comes out and work stops. And we all start playing a video game and we love it and we bitch about it and say it sucks and say we love it and it's better than our game and it's worse than our game. And then we get a new game next week and do it all over again.
I found that everybody thinks making a video game is sitting around playing games all day long, but it's really about playing a game that's broken and is nowhere near as fun as it could be. And then once it's no longer broken and fun, then you're done with it and you pass it off to other people to enjoy.
When I walk around and I see people playing video games in their office, I'm glad. It's when I see them looking at Priceline for plane tickets or they're doing, stock trades or something like that. That's when I'm like, what the hell, you're goofing around at work. It's just like that cheesy commercial on TV where like, oh no, the boss is coming. Don't worry, we work at a video game company. Yeah, it's actually just like that.
I don't think anywhere before here have I ever had as many people from the office know my family or know specifics about my day-to-day life.
I think everybody's really passionate about what they do. They work completely different hours. It's kind of a little bit weird environment, but in general, everybody's really happy, right? And that's what I think you look for, not just in games, but also in life.
We play here probably too much, actually, but I think that's part of having a bunch of really creative guys working together and being happy to be together is that kind of stuff.
It's like one big family.
Always more work to be done than can actually be done. It probably will definitely get fairly stressful as people get less and less sleep. It's stuff that just comes along with the job. You get used to it.
E3's coming. We'll take it out on Mike. It's his fault. He made a calendar.
So we can yell at each other and then go play foosball or something.
Oh, nice save, Matt.
Yeah, foosball is one of those things that you have to play foosball to be a programmer at Epic. It's just a rule, I guess. That's how we get our stress out.
No. No. Save.
Mike Cap's my favorite boss. Yeah, I always looked at him as a little bit as my mentor. Mike Cap's is great. He comes down and lays down the law.
I don't have anything to say to Ray. I've got more to say to Ray's mom. I'm bad about taunting, how's your mom doing, that kind of stuff during a match, because he is really good at foosball.
Now the mom jokes are going to come.
I had this really awkward experience where his mom visited, and she walked up and said, "Hi, I'm Ray's mom," and I was like, "Oh, once you've talked trash about a guy's mom, it's not cool to meet her."
That's right. She has maintenance.
Did you touch that? Did you?
So I should score it? No, because you didn't touch me. Back to you, yeah, that's what